ASEAN doesn't have an institutionalized mechanism to deal with conflict, whether conflict prevention or whether conflict resolution. The Myanmar issue, for example, the 5-point consensus was hashed together by the ministers with the diplomats, by Brunei, I think, at that time, in a very ad hoc fashion. It's very logical, right? It says humanitarian aid, access, stop the fighting, and a few other things. Very logical, but we still don't have a mechanism, a coordinated mechanism to come up whenever there's a new conflict. So if you talk about Thailand and Cambodia, where is the template? There's no template. There's no guideline that says 1, do this, 2, do this, 3, do this. You imagine, ASEAN has been here for how many years? And yet we don't have a template when it comes to conflict. So that's one of the key areas that we are actually pushing in the next 5-year work plan.
Why don't we have the template? Because we never thought we'll be fighting with our neighbors.
I think there are different reasons. I think some diplomats don't see that it's a bit dangerous. Some diplomats will think that it's a bit dangerous to have a template, because when you have a template, that template, if it's very onerous, they may not be able to implement it, or if it's implemented, they may be affected if it's in our own country. So I think that's one view. The second view, of course, is from our side as some of us as commissioners and CSOs are saying, why don't we have a template? So I give you the example, right? Myanmar was ad hoc. Even Cyclone Nagis, when it hit Myanmar, was ad hoc. There was a task force coordination, support. It was a very good example, but it was ad hoc. Timor-Leste had the peacekeeping force, but UN had to come in. We didn't have the example or the guideline how to do it. And that's why when you talk about Thailand and Cambodia, they don't want to ASEANize it. They don't want to internationalize it. But you know that it's facing us in our face, right? We are seeing it, that there are people and civilians being killed. So how do we go about trying to make sure that that doesn't happen?